number 5 for best voice acting definitely is going to have to go to Prince of Persia 2008. Basically, it contains all the elements I like in voice acting. The dialogue is good. The actual voice actors seem like they really enjoy doing the voice acting in the game. You actually get emotion from them, and there's some really funny scenes throughout the game. So overall, just the way the dialogue comes through as very easygoing and very flowy, and not having to feel like, wow, that was a forced corny line or something. Prince of Persia definitely proves that you can make a really cool story and have a really, really good time with these type of voice actors. Plus, Nolan North is just the bomb, as he's like half of the fucking people on my list. So yeah, definitely deserves number 5 spot, Prince of Persia 2008.
I'll go first. But hey, you're staring at my ass. I felt you looking.
I thought you'd lost your ass.
Donkey. I can feel you looking.
Just climb the tower.
Fall down and be buried alive. The walls are all coming to life. The vault.
My next one up is actually Metal Gear Solid 4. David is a badass motherfucker. He wrote X-Men 2, and he is the voice of Snake. He, in my opinion, definitely deserves this number 4 spot, just for Snake alone. Not that anybody else is really bad in Metal Gear Solid 4, but he just, every time he, got on screen, he was the spotlight. Overall, really enjoyed the performance. Very real, very, workable. It doesn't, again, feel forced. And that, to me, is the most important part of being a voice actor. So the voice acting in Metal Gear Solid 4 was top-notch. And despite what you would say about the dialogue and the script in Metal Gear Solid 4, the voice acting itself is hella fucking good. And definitely some of the best in gaming.
Stop! Brother! It's been too long. MCs don't want drama. They don't want to spit with me. They don't want the drama. Rappers don't want drama.
Next one up is Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 comes across where it has a good story, but what makes the story so interesting and so fun to go through is the actual dialogue and the voice acting. It's these guys who obviously have a freaking great time doing these games. They feel like treasure hunters. She feels like a reporter. He feels like an old guy who smokes cigarettes and makes fun of Drake and be a mentor. But the point is that they all seem to really be in these roles. And I mean, this voice acting's top notch. It can be funny. It can be, very emotional. It could be all these different things, and that's important in a game. And Uncharted 2 wouldn't be half as loved. Sure, the gameplay is amazing, but it's the voice acting that really pulls it through as making it one of the best games of all time.
I suppose I should have quit while I was ahead. A little late for that now.
People change, never stay the same. Losing faith in every single way. But I know it's gonna be.
Next up, and this is where I'm sure a lot of people are going to disagree, I'm going to have to put Enslaved on here. Enslaved has some of the best voice acting in the business. I don't care what anybody says. The voice acting in Enslaved is top notch. The dialogue is witty and fun, and the actual script is pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I just wish the gameplay was as good as the story. But the story itself is good, and the dialogue is top notch, as I was saying. The voice acting comes so natural, the actual emotion in it, and the actual real type of reaction to things. I'm going to show a clip. Really show that it could prove that games are really reaching that level where, wow, you're watching a movie. And it was phenomenal, and I love it. And Enslaved definitely deserves this number 2 spot as some of the best voice acting in video game history.
Affirmative, transmit your landing codes or we will be forced to assume your ship is hostile and we will open fire.
Yeah, copy. Just a minute. My landing codes are, 1.
1?
Yes.
1 what?
2. Hey, I think it worked.
Get this sword away from him! Oh.
Number 1 is Heavenly Sword. I have a feeling a lot either never played Heavenly Sword, or they were turned off by the gameplay, or they just never even heard of it. But anybody who really got into Heavenly Sword like me, or anybody I talked to who really liked Heavenly Sword, or at least liked the story-wise, understands what I'm coming from. The voice acting in Heavenly Sword could be some of the best ever. Really, really well voice acted by almost every person in the cast. It was funny at times. It literally made me laugh out loud a bunch of times, but at other times it's so emotional and sad that the way they can switch that emotion so easily, top notch, and deserves a clap. Let's give it a clap. Yep. Overall, I really have to say Heavenly Sword has some of the best, if not the best, voice acting I've seen in video game history. The way the dialogue just flows off the tongue is just so well done, and it feels like it's an animated Pixar movie. Oh, easily, I'm going to give Heavenly Sword the best voice acting there is, and definitely deserves the number 1 spot. This isn't to say there's not plenty of other games that deserve to be on a list. If I were to make a top 10 or top 20, they're all relatively close. Portal 2 has some of the greatest voice acting. Mass Effect 2 up there. Dead Space 2. I mean, I could go on with games that can be nominated for being the top 5. But in my personal opinion, these top 5 really just took me by surprise, some of them, and others were just so polished that I can't ignore it. So overall, that's my top 5 for best voice acting. Would love to hear your views on the best voice acting in gaming. It doesn't have to be an amazing story, but voice acting itself, I want to hear what you guys think. And I know I'm going to get a lot of bitching like the Red Dead fans. I thought Red Dead was half and half. I thought obviously John was well voice acted, but some other people not at all. But overall, the point is I want to hear your top 5. So let me hear your top 5 for the best voice acting games. Not story, voice acting in video games.
For the sake of your silly pagan beliefs.